Hello and welcome to JN Career App. This is Nithya Natarajan.
Today's guest is Mr. Atul Runthala, the principal of a reputed CBSE school in Erode, Tamil Nadu, with over 17 years of experience in school leadership.
A passionate educator and a certified trainer, he is known for driving innovation in pedagogy and teacher development across the state. He has received multiple awards, including the Outstanding Principal of the Year 2025 and the Humanitarian Excellence Award. We extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. I'm truly honored to be hosting you today. Welcome to the podcast series, Future Ready Students, Insights from Education Leaders. Okay, so you've been a principal for over 17 years now. So can you please share with us what inspired you to get into the education sector and how has your vision evolved over time?
See, I think times have changed a lot. 10 years before, 15 years before, or when we were students, we used to see our principal, there used to be a fear factor attached to that position. But nowadays, the times have evolved and you have come out of that position. That position is just a title given to you, not the authority. Authority in the sense, the authority which used to command us a decade or 2 decades ago when we were the students, right? Even the knowledge of that principal is in the corridor, everything used to settle down. But nowadays you have to be, the leadership has to be friendly. You cannot show your authority that you hold that position. You hold position because somebody has given you that position. Okay. So I believe that, over a period of time we have seen, or I have seen, that you should give authority. You should entrust your team with leadership. Under you, how many people have become leaders, that's your report card.
That's a great perspective.
So over time, my vision has evolved from, academic excellence to generally you see the holistic development, but then holistic development of not the students, even of your teachers also, because principal is a bridge between parents, teachers and students. If you draw a triangle in 3 stakeholders, parent, teacher, student, you are somewhere in between. So you have to keep switching sides back and forth. So you need to make sure that all 3 pillars are connected well to each other. So you have to make sure that everybody is nurtured, everybody is taken care of, everybody is listened. And if you're not listening to your teachers, again, they are running the show. Okay, principal is like the colonel of the army, but finally the soldiers have to fight on the battle, right? Okay, soldiers fight, colonels take the credit or generals take the credit. So I feel like, okay, my teachers are fighting day and night because, so if they are not listened to, if they are not supported, if they are not taken care of, they cannot deliver what they are expected to do with the children. So I'll make sure that, with passage of time, not only the students, even the teachers, even the simple IMRs, I make sure that in my leadership, every stakeholder, whether he's a gate guard or is a gatekeeper or is IMR or anybody for that matter, is given gratitude for what they or she, doing. So it's about the well-being of everyone, which delivers as per their own level to the students in the school. And when everybody is delivering with a single vision, because most of the school, each school has a vision and mission. But are all members aligned to that? Only teachers are expected to follow that, or it's only for the management members? No. For example, you are a parent and you are entering one school premises, and the security gate guard, the gatekeeper is not talking to you nicely. How you will get an impression about the values of that school, right? So that gatekeeper should also
start there at the gate.
Yes. When you say that, if you want to know about the school, go and observe its assembly. From the assembly, you can understand what school is doing. So same way, my leadership talks about or how it has evolved over time, that all stakeholders should be given respect. They should be aligned to the mission of the school, irrespective of whatever department they are working for, with whose, that I believe that has taken me from where I was, where I am, and where I'll be tomorrow in the time to come. That's how I feel like that.
Great. That's a wonderful perspective, sir. That you're giving importance to each and every individual who's part of that school community.
And
the
that's
parents,
Yes,
all the staff members, including the non-teaching staff and everyone who supports the support staff and everyone together. Okay, that's
and
a
if you,
great person.
yes, and if you talk about NEP also, it talks about inclusive education. So you have
Correct.
to include everyone,
Everyone.
in, out,
Correct.
inside the class, outside the class, everywhere. All matters. Everyone matters.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and you also talk about building a culture of empathy, excellence, and lifelong learning. So, tell us, what are some ways in which you instill these values in your school community?
Question actually, when we celebrate academics, we also celebrate the attitude of the people, the gratitude towards the people, the teamwork and the resilience of the people, because the teachers should be lifelong learners. Okay, I should not think that I know everything and it's over. Nowadays, I tell my teachers that okay, AI may not replace teachers, but if you don't know AI, you will be replaced by the teachers who know AI.
Yeah, correct.
Right? Because nowadays the world needs smarter people, not hardworking people. So yeah, because like for example, COVID, before COVID, nobody knew about Zoom. Today, Zoom is like on everybody's fingertip, right? So
And now
lifelong,
students started using AI to do their homework. So unless the teacher is aware about the ChatGPT and AI, they won't be able to figure that out.
yes. So I encourage, questioning. I tell my children, I tell my teachers that if you don't understand anything, question it. Because the questioning is the first step to learning. Questioning is the first step to your lifelong learning. If you accept everything blindly, then your mind will never think how, why, what things happen, right? So if you question, so when we observe the classes, when we go for any classroom observation, we make sure that the feedback is also given in a proper way. And nowadays, I encourage not only to give feedback, even feed forward should also be given, because most of the time when things have gone wrong, then you give a feedback like you hold some position. But what if we give feed forward?
Forward.
Yeah.
How do you move forward from here?
Yes.
What should you do differently in order to grow
Yes.
beyond?
For example, if I'm going to travel at 2 o'clock, my wife will tell, okay, you're going at 2 o'clock in the midnight, make sure that you are careful about these things. So that is feed forward. After something has gone wrong, then you are educating the people. That's okay, but then if you already have experience of that, share it before the other people face the same scenario. So in learning, you should give the feed forward, give the feedback. People should take it positively. People should question each other. Teachers should not feel that why the child is questioning you, right? Why the teacher should not feel that they are sitting on the back benches. As you know, Dr. Kalam used to say, most of the brilliant minds are sitting on the back benches of this country. So back benches cannot be wrong. Only thing is their mind is maybe probably working in a different direction. You need to channelize that energy in the proper direction, right? So I believe that if you are empathetic with your students, if you develop that, yes, they can be lifelong learners, you have to connect with them. And I request all my teachers to connect with all the students day in and day out, not only for the sake of marks. And students also, I believe, ma'am, they understand which teacher is speaking from the heart or just,
Right.
So
Agree.
I think if you connect with the students with heart, no, even if you punish them also, they're happy to accept it. Though I should not say like that, but they understand, okay, you are connected. And I think connection, emotional attachment, bonding, gratitude, empathy are more important than delivering the marks at the end of the year. Because finally we just don't need marks on the number. We need that mark should reflect in the identity of a human being. Finally, the purpose of education is to create a good human being, a good citizen for the society.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a citizen no AI can replace.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just that human connection that no AI will replace you ever. So you don't have to be worried about whether AI is going to take up my job, because as human you have your own skills, which AI can never take
No,
up.
but AI can help you work better, get
Work
better
better.
paychecks, get better appraisals,
Yeah,
and you might
but cannot replace you.
yes, you cannot, but you might become obsolete if you don't know. That will happen in time to come.
Right, correct.
Because when institutions pay salary, they need people who can do multitasking. They need people who can do things in a better way, in a less time-consuming way. Then you need to have some IT skills, right? So you cannot be replaced, but you can be replaced by the people who don't know, who knows AI.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah. I was, emphasizing that it's the interpersonal skills, the way the human connection, the way you interact with the other person can never be replaced by AI. So that's something very, very special and unique to humans, and we need to work on that. You are a champion in making this teaching learning process more practical and industry linked. So give us some insights, share some successful strategies or initiatives you have introduced in your school that align with this.
Teacher.
It's a need of the hour actually, as per the 21st century skills. We have introduced like project-based modules where students solve real-world scenario situations. Like for example, in college they have internships.
Doctor.
Right.
And the schools have, right? We are trying to, fix the Indian education system, whatever the little knowledge I have. I think we are trying to fix from UGC to the KG. But the rest of the world has fixed from KG to UGC.
Teacher.
It means, taking baby steps, fixing primary, then middle, then secondary, then higher education. Now, if you see NEP, most of the NEP policies are implemented in universities first, then schools are changing the way universities want. So it's a reverse paradigm.
Teacher.
But nevertheless, in my school, how I have started that we have talked to the local people, the local NGOs, the local industry houses, print media. Like for example, I'm in Erode, Tamil Nadu, right? Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, Salem is a industrial hub of hosiery, cotton clothes, leather tannery. Coimbatore is nearby, so we can connect with the local industries. We have started, we have an outbound learning team in our school. We speak to that team. They identify the possible venues where our students can go and have a 50 days internship, 7 days visit. Then they write a report, and then we can go to mock courts. We have approached the SP also. We have gone to district court also. How the court works, how the hearing of the court works. We go to SP office. Okay, these students will stand with the traffic policeman and try to understand how the traffic system works, how the traffic lights work. So when you send students for different kind of areas, different kind of companies, then you spark, give a spark in their heart. Okay,
curiosity, allowing them to explore.
Yes, like for example, 3 years before, I remember we sent a batch of students to the agriculture college. So looking at how the agricultural things were, then they came to know that around 130 professions are there if you take agriculture only as a subject. So imagine, like for example, the Amul, it's like one of the world's biggest cooperative society for milk production. But if you date back let's say 30 or 40 years before, Amul is still nothing but a group of women who are fetching milk from the cows and buffaloes, taking it together and running a cooperative society, right? So milk production from 5-10 villages deep in the Gujarat has become $1 billion company today, right? It's all about the understanding. It's all about the exposure. Then we also invite industry experts who come for some kind of talks, motivational talks, leadership talks, fire chat talks. Then I also invite my own alumni. I have a team who keep connected with the passed out alumni, and then we invite those alumni when they come for the summer vacation or some holidays. We schedule in such a way that when they come, like for example, I am an alumni and working in Chennai with some automobile company. So when I come to Erode, my hometown, I call them in the school for 1 hour and connect them with the science students of 10 to 12, and then I deliver. So when the student is talking to the students, it gives a different impression on the students. So I mean, you have to connect the people, and that connection is, I think, going beyond books, bridging the gap between the concept of the books and the requirement of the careers of the future. So that's how we do it. Like industry experts are there, then industry visits are there, university visits are there, exposure visits are there, mock visit to courts and railway stations, even the postal office or the how bank works. you know.
Popcorn.
So how bank works also, we can send the commerce students. So, I mean, I think opportunities are endless. Only thing is you have to,
Facilitate all
yes,
of that.
yes. You have to think about it and execute it. Yeah. So I
Because
think
most schools, once the students reach like high school, grade 9 and grade 10 maximum, they cut off all the other activities and say, now you prepare for the board exams. All that they do is like push them towards academic excellence in board exams. They forget that, there are so many other areas for development and growth.
it's definitely.
Right. Great. So glad that you are doing all of this. Okay. And you've also mentioned that you are a CBSE resource person and soon to be a master trainer. And you have trained teachers across the state of Tamil Nadu. So what are some of the most common gaps that you see in classroom teaching today, and how do you address them?
See, when I visit most of the schools across Tamil Nadu, length and breadth, I find that the teachers are still not ready to unlearn first. They think that whatever they have learned is pakka cemented in their mind.
Bananas.
That's not right. So nowadays students are ready to learn. Teachers are somehow become rigid or monotonous or fixed mindset, or I don't know. Maybe they are right there their place, but in long run it's not a good option. That's how I feel them. So when I talk to them, I say like, I come here to train you, not teach you. So I'm not telling you what to teach. You are expert in that. I'm talking about how to teach. So I'm talking about how, not the what. You are master in that. I cannot question your ability. You have a principle for that. Now in how to teach, you have to learn and unlearn and relearn something. You have to undo something. And something which has worked for 10 years does not mean it may work 11th year also, because the dynamics of the education industry are changing every year nowadays. Every year the dynamics are changing. Every year you get new set of students, you get new batch of parents. New batch of parents will have new theories, new ideologies, new philosophies. So what formula worked 15 years before doesn't matter, it will work next year also. Okay, if it's working fine, you will continue with that. But then your formula should allow a space to go little here and there, explore it. It cannot be fully rigid. So sometimes I feel like, teachers, we have to work on that. Second thing which I talk about, the storytelling approach, because after a certain duration, I feel like storytelling approach teachers are missing it. They just start the topic right from, the moment they step into the class. If you compare a grade 11th class and, and a grade 1 or KG Monty classes, you will find the Monty or primary classes are more live.
Right.
The teacher is sitting on the floor, feeding with the hand. The teachers are enjoying, dancing, opening their trousers, feeding with the spoon. I mean, hell lot of things you can see. But if you step into 8, 9, 10th, the same monotonous topic, you enter the right on the board something, you don't know what you're doing. The child doesn't know after 40 minutes what you have taught them. So, so I'm telling, like, whenever you start teaching, just create some story, create some background that why you are teaching that. If I am a student, I will ask, okay, sir, you are teaching me trigonometry, but what is the use of that? And now
where am I going to use this in my life? That's the most popular question students have. Like, why am I even learning this?
Yes, most
How
of
is it going to
I'm talking that I learned something in my school life I have not used in the last 20 years. So you need to have a proper answer for that. And then I say one more thing, that you are teaching, but that teaching learning process is considered as one thing. But teaching is same, learning is different for all the 40 students of your class.
Correct.
Right. Because when you are observing your students, your attention is already divided 1 by 40. Because you're looking at all of them. So your attention span is already 1 by 40. But 40 pair of eyes are watching you. So you have to work smarter than them. You cannot give them falsifying ideas that this is right or wrong. They will cross check with ChatGPT or Google, right? So my my philosophy to all the teachers is that you personalize the learning for your students. You come down to the level of the students. That is my piece
Cater
of
to all kinds of learners in the
Yes.
classroom.
If you talk only about toppers, the mediocres will be left behind. If you talk only for the mediocre, the toppers will feel that why should I go to school? And that's the reason why most of the schools before the board exam, the topper doesn't want to come back to the school.
Right, right.
Because they say there's nothing challenging in the classroom because the teacher is busy with the average or below average students. So your lesson planning should, cater to all the diverse learners. So I think these are the challenges where teachers are working on it, but somehow could not deliver it due to some multiple variable factors, maybe management, maybe their subject, maybe the grade, maybe their own style. So, I mean, there are
Or
multiple.
even the use of technology. This is where we can use technology in order to keep even the bright ones busy.
But ma'am,
Giving them something extra so that it's challenging for them when we concentrate on maybe like the slow learners or the mediocre learners.
yes, but for that you have to be smart enough to
That's
use of it and implement it.
implement it. Right.
Because
Right. So that
having
has to be
planned-
like part of your lesson planning itself. That this is what I'm going to do, and in case you have a plan B also. Okay, in case this child is already restless because they've learned everything. Okay, this is the activity that I'm going to engage them with.
But you should be smart enough to do multiple things together, interdisciplinary things together.
Right. Right.
But if you are fixed in one line, then so that is what the challenge I face with more, and we are working on that, and I think they need constant push for that. I mean, overnight, no, you cannot change the philosophy of a person. So now the CBSE is also continuously talking about training session for the teacher rather than you teach the students. First, you gear up and you learn the modern pedagogical things before you go to the classroom. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So as educators, we see that there's the stress levels and the confusion, especially when it comes to making career choices, is increasing among students, among high school students, and even the parents are under a lot of stress. So how do you and your school support student well-being and emotional balance alongside academic excellence?
That's the need of the hour, and I think last 10 years we have only pushed this stress to our students. Okay. Because if you remember, when our parents or grandparents used to study, there was only one question. He or she is pass or fail. If he is pass, that's good. When we became students, first division or second division or third division. Today, even centum also people are not happy.
Not happy.
Okay, why you got centum in one subject? Why not two subjects?
Why not
So
the other?
that stress we have only built up. The kids have not got or downloaded from somewhere else. And we have built up stress on our kids just to satisfy either our ego or just to prove something to the society that my child is better than yours. And in that kind of conflict, our students are paying a big price.
Agreed.
Either they're turning to narcotics, either they're turning to drug addiction, mobile addiction, or nowadays you see, the parents don't have time. We have everything for our children, but not time. Though we may say we are doing everything for our children. And when you don't have time for your kids, what happens? The child will speak, needs someone to speak with. Adults have no time. Whom they will speak with? The similar peer students, peer age group. I am confused, let's make each other confused, right? And then the students feel, and nowadays they openly say, Mom, you will not understand me. My friend can understand me better. Because they are on the same age level, same page, right? And when both are in stress, they go to a third person who will misguide them or
Manipulate.
do something wrong, and then how the things happen wrong in our student community. Now, talking about the well-being and emotional balance, it's much needed, as I've already told you that why it is needed. Last 2 minutes, I've been telling that it's really mandate today that you should talk with the student. For that. As a principal, my team, myself, my managing team, my managing director, we have a school counselor. Like CBSE also talks about school health and wellness, counselor, special educator. So we have a circle time We allow students to access to counselors. They can come to principals. Like my office is always open. Any teacher, any student can come to me because finally we are here for them, not for us. Then we have an open door policy where any child can speak up. We have a special email ID, we care at the school domain. That is
Okay.
given freely by the management to all the student and teachers. And anybody can write anything,
Mhm.
anything to that email ID. Even the principal doesn't know that. Only the managing director will come to know. That like means enormous kind of mail that I have something to share. It could be any crap what you want to share. He said my AC is not working. Give me window AC or split AC. So any child, any staff member can write it. So the teacher's well-being is also taken care of. Student well-being through counselors, through teachers, through principal, through circle time, through open door policy. We try to identify. Now, second thing, as I said, feed forward is more important. So rather than trying to sort out the issues after they have happened, we also try to identify the stress which might create into a problem tomorrow. So we are constantly pushing our teachers to get trained to identify areas of stress and
Okay.
respond sensitively. I think that is preliminary thing we can do because we need fire extinguisher after the fire is gone. But can't we have sensors which will prevent the fire even to happen? So we don't need to use fire extinguishers. Right. So with that thought in
Right.
mind, we ensure that students are not overloaded with academics. We have a homework policy that grade-wise, age group-wise, subject-wise, the child will get this much only of homework. We have cupboards in our classrooms that the kids can place books on Monday afternoon while going home, and then Saturday they can bring back, take it back to home. So we have reduced the bag weight by for at least 5 days, 6 days. The child doesn't have to bring the such so much. So it reduces his physical pressure, physical stress. Then second, we do some mindful sessions, mindfulness sessions in our assemblies through circle times. We also have some hobby clubs and art clubs where the students can express, uh, do anything. And then we have a special period called a DR, drop everything and read. So they can read anything of any choice, any genre in the library or in the classroom. And and digital detox also, we do some kind of sessions with the parents and student, that is also nowadays much needed. So yeah, we are trying to create a balance in the ecosystem, that books are just one tool to learn something. They cannot be the final destination. So the kids are happy, and there's no pressure. And if they are capable to, so, and like for example result also, like academics, the parents say that the child is at 40%, we need 70%. I said within 15 days we cannot do that. We are not Harry Potters. So what we do, every child will give a target of 5 to 10% marginal increase exam on exam. So child also feels like, okay, I got 50, next time I have to get 55. So he feels, yeah, plus 5 I can do it. Then
Do
from
it.
55 to 60, then 60, it's a doable. It's a smart target rather than 50 to 80.
Yeah. Right.
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 So when every time the child is increasing a marginal score, it boosts his confidence, it boosts his mental courage that yes, somebody told me I cannot do it. See, I'm doing it.
Yeah. That sense of achievement is there.
Yes. And teachers, parents also feel okay. Last time we got 50, now he's got 55. Next time we got 63. Next time we got 70. So by the time year ends, he's somewhere around 80, 85. And that makes him happy. And I think the toppers may not remember you, but the weaker or average students will remember you your lifetime.
Right. Right.
So by this kind of approaches, if we do know, the child feel more happy, more emotionally connected. So we are achieving our academics also. We are not disturbing his mental thought process also, and he feels happy also.
Right. Right. So it's more of like a holistic development, not focusing only on the academic excellence.
Yes, that is much needed.
So here we are talking about future ready students. So from your experience, if you have to prioritize and say like these are the top 3 skills that every student must develop in order to thrive in the unpredictable future, what would those top 3 skills would be, and how can schools support this better?
A good question, ma'am. As you talk about 21st century skills, all 10 skills are much needed, keeping today's thought in mind and the unpredictable future in mind and industry expectations in mind, the job market in mind. But I prioritize three things. First, adaptability. The child should get exposure to adjust to any environment
Correct.
anywhere in the world.
Right.
And that you have to give dynamic learning environment and challenges. Okay, so first is adaptability.
Adaptability.
Because if he's not ready to come out of his cocoon, the convenience zone, the comfort zone, then despite he may have any knowledge and skill, he cannot develop.
Yes. That's
Because
right.
suppose you join Microsoft and tomorrow Microsoft sends you to US to become vice president, you will leave the job of vice president because you cannot stay outside India. So that will hamper your growth only, no? Microsoft will not wait for you. Tomorrow they will find someone else. So my theory says that children should learn everything, but then they should learn how to adjust, adapt to the dynamics of the environment. Maybe the people around them, maybe their skills around them, maybe their timing around them. So they should be able to forecast the changes, adapt to those changes, and how quickly they can adapt. That is also much needed because the world will not wait for them for next 3 years. Everybody wants now, smooth, faster, quicker. Second thing is critical thinking. Critical thinking must needed. It takes you away from your reducing rote learning and encouraging inquiry-based learning, experiential learning. So when I'm not able to critically think or examine whether it's right or wrong, for example, I got something on WhatsApp and I immediately forwarded. So that's not right, right?
Yeah. Or you watch some Instagram reel or YouTube reel and blindly think that's the truth.
Yeah, because you assume that it's true. So somebody has done a mistake, you have forwarded that mistake to the rest of the world. So you have created more problem, right? So I think critical thinking is much needed to solve because nowadays you have lot many challenges in the society, lot many challenges in the economy. When you join any corporate organization, you need to solve problems, problem solving skills, right? You need to be able to solve problems around you. So when you talk about problem solving, you need to have critical thinking with you also. Otherwise, you will become a rote learner, which has no use as on today. Third thing which I understand is digital and emotional literacy because everybody is IQ smart nowadays. They are born smart, right? If I compare myself and my own children and their children, I think I was born dumb. So I think digital literacy in a proper way, in a correct way, without any pollution or adulteration, because as we say, science is a good servant but a bad master. So digital literacy is much needed because we should. I mean, we are teaching computer science to our students, but we are not teaching how to use that computer in a proper way to us.
Right. And how to, cyber safety, for example, how to stay safe on, social media.
We have lot many fancy terms like digital detox, digital footprints, all that sort. But everybody's talking, nobody's following. For example, if I am sharing your picture on Facebook, though you may be a good friend of mine, but if I'm sharing your photo on Facebook without your consent, that is also breach of privacy.
That's wrong. Yes, that's wrong.
And
we don't even realize that we're doing it. We just take a good photo and share it.
As a bullying. That actually is an example of cyberbullying.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of literacy we have to give our students because you cannot remove IT from today's world. So if IT is going to exist, AI is going to exist, data analytics is going to prevail in the future, then you must teach your students how to make the best use of it. And second, emotional literacy. We should not be emotionally fools, right? We should have a prior understanding. We should be smart enough to understand, balance the logic and the emotions. Sometimes I say to my children that the God has given brain above your heart. So whatever emotions you may have in your heart, go and check with your brain also. Are they logical?
Right.
So
emotional quotient is like actually more important than intelligence quotient. And that's what all the employers and top multinational companies are looking for. Are you emotionally intelligent? More than
if you step up your ladder, you need to be emotionally balanced. You cannot take any decision only based on emotions. So you should be having the emotions because you are not a robot. But then you cannot only write down emotions.
Yeah.
Then
Regulate.
that's where again critical thinking comes into picture.
Right.
That how critical you can examine your emotions. So I think you should, have emotions along with the logic. Then teach them, balanced global citizens who can take proper decisions, like decision making. Right. Finally, the goal of education is to take proper decisions at the right point of time. So my philosophy is schools must shift from syllabus driven to skills driven, skill based learning. I mean, are you teaching them or are you making them ready for the skilled country? So flexible curriculum, student voice, mentorship in your everyday practice, I think they can help the students. And I tell one more thing, students, that it's okay to commit an error. It's not a crime. Okay, most of the time we feel like if you're doing a mistake, you're not good for anything. Because we are not ready to accept the mistakes of the people. We want everything perfect. And there is nothing called as perfect in this world except God. Right.
Right.
So you don't allow people to make mistakes. They never learn it because you are not allowing them. One day they stop trying. Like for example, in most of the schools you see, only the selected set of students will perform something. Because the teachers have never allowed others to do something, assuming that or believing that they cannot do it. And one day they stop trying also, as believing that the teacher will never call them. And then one day you blame that these students doesn't know anything, only these set of students are only doing. Because you are not allowing them to do mistakes. And first attempt in learning, doing mistakes is nothing but a part of your journey of your experience. If I'm saying 20 years experience, that means 20 years I've done some mistakes. I've learned and moved on.
Right.
So somebody has allowed me to commit a mistake. No, somebody has accepted my mistake. Somebody has allowed me to work with that. So I should also allow my children to commit some mistakes, do some errors, learn from those mistakes, and that's what we say experience.
Yeah, experiential learning.
Yes.
And most of the parents today, they want everything to be done the right way. They become overprotective because they don't want their children to make any mistakes. So that's where they make their children more dependent on them instead of allowing them to be independent, make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. They're overprotective.
Nowadays, if you see, there is a term called as helicopter parenting. You are always standing on the head of your child.
Yeah.
That he should not do this, he should not go alone, he should not do that, he should not do that. And finally, they cannot do anything, and then you blame them, they are not good for anything.
Right.
It's not good. It's not good. If you have given proper values, if you have given good education, let them go anywhere in any part of the world, they will be okay. Otherwise, in your own house, they can spoil themselves.
Right.
Because you have given phone to them. On one click, they can get everything. So within your house parameters, they can spoil the entire thing. No. So you need to trust.
But it's very difficult to tell parents and to convince them that they have to allow their child to.
That is why my school also does parenting seminars. Most of the good schools in the country will find that they are teaching the parents also nowadays how to do parenting. One of my friends in Bangalore says it's easy to become a father or mother in 9 months. But to become a successful parent, it takes a lifetime.
Correct.
So becoming a parent is not a big thing. Doing the parenting is a major thing. And for that, you will see a lot of seminar and courses nowadays.
Right.
So every 3 months or 5 months or 6 months now in our school, we have a predefined system that we call some parents. We talk about some common things. That how often you spend time with your kids, how often you do this thing, how often you take lunch or dinner together, how often you go for a break or a picnic, how often you spend time together. Do you ask your children when they are asking money? Do you question them that where they are going to spend that money? They need to learn these things.
Right.
But some parents think that how they have faced challenges in their childhood, my child should not suffer like that. But that's a wrong philosophy.
Do you feel students and parents in tier 2 and tier 3 cities have enough access to career guidance? And what role do schools play in bridging that gap?
See, first of all, nowadays nothing called a tier 2, tier 3 except the books. Every city has a beautiful access to all the resources. And luckily we are all connected with online things. So I'm sitting in the road, but I'm doing a course from Harvard in certified school management leadership. It's possible. So if you have the vision, there are 1,000 ways to do it. If you don't have a vision, there are 1,000 excuses not to do it.
Not to do it.
Right.
Right.
So as L.Y. Edison said in 18th century, 1,000 ways not to blow a bulb and one way how to blow a bulb. So luckily we are in 21st century. We have a lot of options. Okay, some infrastructure issues may be there, but then you see after COVID we have a flood of online courses. Even I have around 190 plus certifications from LinkedIn Learning from different universities of the world. So many. So now my school has a specific department, career guidance and placement services, a CGPS department, where there are some dedicated staff members, committed members, qualified skilled members. We allow 1 or 2 periods per week. They go to period, they go to regular class, like how I teach math or English or science. Likewise, you are a teacher, you go to your specified class, you go to a specified period and talk about the courses, specifically 9 to 12. Because 1 to 8 is not much effective, but 9 to 12, industry visits, industry exposures, alumni visit, industry experts visit, then what opportunities you have, what universities are giving the courses, you can talk about the professionals from different fields, you can talk about the, integrating the career orientation, you can involve parents in that processes, you can talk about the online platform and services, you can talk about the role models in that field, you can provide the information. So they kind of, gel with all the students, and the students have, a lot of resources to work with. So I think there is no much challenge and things are going smooth, and that's the reason why I think we have many students placed outside, just because we have a dedicated department for that.
Okay, this is a favorite, personal favorite question of mine. You have received awards for innovation and leadership. So can you share with us one bold move or an unconventional idea that has worked well in your school?
No homework week. No bag. Water bill. Let teachers be students.
Okay.
Let teachers be, go in the background. And let the students take the onus of that. Generally, I say my teachers that on 5th of August, 5th September, when you have Teachers' Day, students are generally given the responsibility to run the school. And if you have observed, they are running better than you. And they say yes. How come an immature mind can work better than you? That question your mature mind. Right. And then, so there is nothing but a right and wrong. It's all about the understanding. It's all about the vision you have. And in that vision of journey or, the destination, you may make mistakes. That's okay. My management gives me that space where I can explore some ideas. You can show some short films. You can take them to any adventurous place. It enhances, empathy between your teams. Because when you're doing something off the track, people may question you, but if they understand you, they will understand with empathy also. Okay, sir is doing, maybe something might be there. They learn better time management. It breaks the monotony. You develop real world learning things. Otherwise, same chalk and talk method cannot work. So as I said, my ideas are many and they work at times, they fail also at times, and I'm happy with that. I don't mind.
Yeah, at least you're happy that you are trying it.
Yes, at least 50% of them are also getting the benefit. I'm happy. It's not zero. If it's not 100, it's not zero as well, no?
At least you have that confidence to try out something.
Yes, you thought something, you implemented it, 20% you got the okay. So you got 20%, fine. So let's make it 40% next time. It cannot become 100% in one day. If you would not have tried, it's all zero.
Zero, correct.
That's it.
Great. Okay. And, from your CV, I understood that you have maintained zero absenteeism throughout your career, which is rare and remarkable. So tell us your secret, like what personal habit or what kind of a mindset actually helps you achieve this level of dedication.
If I share the secret, that's no longer a secret, madam. It's not a secret. It's probably the blessings of my God, my wife, her love and attachment. And second thing, I consider my job as my business. One wise man has said that you consider your job as a business, you will definitely succeed. Because whatever you do for your business, you will never think. And if you consider it as a job, then you become a slave of your watch that I should go by 9, come back by 5. If it's your business, you may be happy at 7 o'clock also. See, it's 6 o'clock, my entire team has gone at 4. And generally I work till 5:36. So there is nothing secret. I take care of my health. I just pray to God every day. I do meditation. I live in this moment. I don't mind. I have no regrets for the past. They were supposed to happen. They happened. I'm optimized. I'm optimistic about the future, but I live in this moment. As simple as it. If this moment is good, I will have good memories for today, tomorrow, because tomorrow, this today will become past. Right. And I don't believe in good time or bad time. If you're doing something good, every minute is a good time. If you're doing something wrong, if you're going to steal somebody's money, then there is nothing called a right or wrong time. It's always wrong. So same I tell to all my team members and my own children that take care of your health. Your health is your first priority. And if your health is good, and again, if I say about health, it equally talks about mental health as well, emotional health as well, social health as well, because you are a social animal, as we say, you have to live in the society. So from each corner, you should be fit and fine, and you just don't take stress for anything. Easy to say, I know. It has taken me around 10 years to come up to this thought process, what I'm preaching you now. But after 10 years or 15 years, I understood that nothing will change, only you burn your heart. So it's okay. I'm always happy. If it's good, it's very good. If it's not happening good, maybe the God has planned something better for me. As we have a quote in English, if something is happening according to your wish, it's your wish. If it's not happening, it's God's wish that maybe He has planned better for you. So I don't have regret. I don't have any problems, and I'm happy. I just be consistent. I have a purpose in my life where I wish to be, and I actually talk to myself a lot in the morning in my meditation. That so I want to live after my death. So for that I have to work.
Great, sir. That's a great perspective. Being self-aware and analyzing where you are and where you want to go actually gives us a lot of motivation to continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah. Or those who are not reading, I recommend them read Maslow's theory. Maslow's need theory talks a lot about things.
Right, right. Okay, thank you so much for sharing such valuable insights, sir. Okay, the last question, if you have to share a message or give one piece of advice to all the high school students and their parents who are confused about their career decisions, what would that message be?
It's a very sensible and a very tricky question you are asking me. What advice I can give? I am still learning. But I would must say what I say to my students here: don't chase careers, chase clarity in your vision. Don't chase careers because others are successful. It doesn't guarantee you will be successful. Chase clarity, chase strength, chase your values, chase your interest. Okay. If I am successful in X, doesn't mean you will also be successful in X. Maybe you are successful will be in Y. So I think the job market is changing, evolving, and nowadays it's evolving very fast. India is already the third or the fourth largest developing economy in the world. Sooner, around 10 years from now, it may be second or third also. We never know. Yeah. So if you have to be lying in sync with this fast changing country, fast changing economy, you have to be self aware. You have to realize what you're doing. You have to consistent with that approach and ignore the people around you, what they're talking, till the time you achieve something. Okay. And when you will achieve something, your actions will tell the rest of the world. You need not shout for that. let your actions speak for itself, not your words, right?
Mm.
And in the meantime, I request parents also trust your child.
Right. Right.
Trust the child in whatever way they are doing, whichever way they are doing, because they have more opportunities than us.
Mm.
We had only three options: science, humanities, and commerce, right? Now in commerce, as I said, agriculture has 130 plus professions. So opportunities are endless. You have to trust the process. You have to trust the child. You have to trust the communication. And if you have any challenges, go and speak to the right person. Problem is like, sorry, there is a power loss due to the weather.
No.
So the thing is that, like for example, if I need to file my IIT return, I have to seek the advice of a tax counselor or a chartered accountant. But in case of education, the entire society will teach you, preach you, guide you, misguide you. I don't know. So parents should also go to the principal or educational consultant or some expert who can advise them better. And schools are here to support, not just with marks but with meaningful journey of the life, because I think every child's life is unique, every child's journey is unique. Let them explore, experiment, and evolve with passage of time. Don't make them robots.
Mm.
Okay, so let them because every child is born with a free canvas, right? We only draw them.
Yeah.
When the child is born, he or she has nothing in the storage or the database. We write it. For example, when the child, if you see consider an infant, nowadays you see most of the mothers show them a mobile phone when they are not eating something. But he was not born with the knowledge that phone is needed to eat something. When the child is not eating, we show that screen. 6 months we show him. He become tuned to that, and in that confusion, he is eating something. The mother has an impression that okay, when he's watching the phone, he's eating better. And then one day we only tell that oh, he has gone useless. He cannot eat anything without mobile phone. He's too dependent on mobile. But who showed him the path to that mobile phone while eating?
In the beginning, right.
We only know. So I think parents also have to step down somewhere. Give the children the space and the scope where they work. And if you're given right values, as the final goal of education is to become a good human being, you give them values.
Mm.
You nurture those values. The Panch Tantra, what we had, the children used to go to Nana Nani, Dada Dadi's house couple of years before. And what those grandparents used to do, they used to teach stories, tell stories in the evening. And that stories were nothing but
Value-based stories.
Yes. Now, thanks to nuclear families, the grandparents are not there. Parents have no time. The children have lost their values, and that's the reflection in today's society. That children may be scoring 98%, but they don't have values.
Mm.
So inculcate those values through any channel, whatever it may be. We have every option. But I think my message to all the high school students and parents is that respect them, support them, care for them, but just don't behind them. That pushing them to that limit that they feel that they are not worth for anything. And if you have failed in something, you could not achieve something, it's not the end of the life. Maybe something better is there for you. So
Right.
that parents also have to, empathize with their children, because if you have not become a doctor, doesn't mean you are not
Yeah.
good for anything.
Yeah.
There may be something better in your life.
Yeah.
So I think that is my
The
simple.
child is not worth only of like getting marks or clearing the competitive exams. There's much more that the child is capable of doing.
And as I said before, my second request to parents that keep your communication channels open with your children. I think they're not much in communication. They're
Right,
talking
right.
to the rest of the world. They're talking to ChatGPT. They're talking to other people, but they're not talking to mom and dad.
Mm.
And that's a big problem actually.
Mm.
If it's not taken care, another 10, 15 years, it is going to be a very big problem.
Right, right.
I think
So
parents.
during my webinars with parents, I usually tell them like this is like a vicious circle. The competition, comparison, and communication gap between parents and students.
Yes. Yes.
No, that's the root cause of all the other problems that come up within families. They always keep comparing their children with other children, and so the competition builds up, and then there's so much communication gap between the parents and the children.
And the beauty of this equation is we ignore the good things of our own children.
Yeah, we never realize that they come with their unique strengths and personalities and interests and all that, and we always want them to live up to somebody else's standards.
Yes, and the same person will share on the screen, a stage, that every child is a gifted child. Then why you don't believe the same thing for your own child?
For your own child, right?
If this philosophy is true, then your own child is also a gifted child. That you neglect and appreciate the rest of the world. And recognition is a very beautiful thing which can make the things wonder. So recognize the good things of your child, no? I'm sure he or she will do one day.
Yeah, that need not be always academics or some kind of special talent.
Anything.
It could be skills, it could be, some other, quality in a child, which we have to recognize. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and sharing all your insights and experiences and all that. It was wonderful talking to you, and I'm sure we'll have more of these interviews in the future. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for giving the opportunity.